I'm making an air conditioning hose replacement for a 64 Rambler, and it was leaking because the fitting had gone bad. So I am replacing that hose. So I took out the old hose, and here's what you have right here. You see it's got two fittings on it. Now these are called barrier hoses, and you can buy them on eBay. There's number 6, 8, 10, and 12 hoses. This one would be either an 8 or 10. And anyway, you can measure the fitting, the diameter of the hose, the outside diameter, and that'll give you the proper size. So barrier hose, and then the fittings, they slide on the end. Now, these fittings, they look like this when they're off. They're just this has got a little protection right here. And then this fitting right here is going to slide on the end that you're going to crimp. And if you notice, there's a little hole right there, and that tells you that you've got the piece seated right up to the very end. So you put it on there, okay? Just turn it a bit and put it on. And to make the proper length of hose, you use the old one as a guide, and you just line them up. In other words, you put the whole thing together.
So which one's the new one?
Well, this is the old one right here.
This is the old one, and this one's the new one.
This is the new one.
Because people are going to want to know that. The kind knuckleheads.
And you notice that this is a 90 degree, and this is a 45 degree here. So
which is just like the original.
Yes. Well, the original also has a 45 and 90. So this one is the 90, and this one on this end is the 45. So we line them up and we make the cut on the hose. And so you got them the same length. But what's even as important is that the fittings have to be going in the exact same direction. I'll change the old one, but the new one, you can twist it. And so you line them up so that these fittings are turned exactly the same way. Otherwise, the hose is not going to line up when you put it in the car.
Now, why can't you change the old fittings?
Well, the old fitting is already crimped. This one is not crimped and it's loose, and so you can turn the new one.
Okay.
All right. So what I've done is I've taken this old one and I've lined it up like so.
Does it have to be exact, or can it be just like pretty close?
It has to be pretty close, very close actually. So this is just this is something that, and then once you align it, you put a mark on the hose so that you know it's going to stay in line. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a Sharpie and I'm going to just mark it. So I got this one lined up. See how that one's perfectly good, and then this one not quite right. The angle is a bit off, so I'm just going to turn it about like that.
That seems to be pretty close.
Okay, that does look good. Alright, so they're right on, they're facing the same direction, and that is facing the same direction also. Alright, so now I take a Sharpie, and we have one of these
Any color? You get green to match our brand.
Alright, so we take a Sharpie and you put a line not only on the
Did I give you one that works?
fixture, but also on the hose.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is a line both right there and right there. So I hope you guys can see that.
And you do the same on this one. And put a line and then on the hose. So now if it should move, you can be pretty sure that you got it in the right place. So let's try yellow, see if that's any brighter.
It probably won't work too well on this, on the metal, but it'll work. Should work on them.
Yeah, not totally visible.
You know what you could use is paint. Shh. Use paint pens, not a sponsor.
Yeah, white would work real well too.
There's no such thing as a white Sharpie, but Posca markers would be a good choice. Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor, I wish.
Okay, last one I'm going to try is this red one right here. And I'm going to, yeah, that's pretty clear.
That was really clear on that. Not so much on that. I'll get you some Posca markers for the next video.
Okay, and then that's really clear on this one, and you can just barely see it on the hose. Okay, great. So now we take a crimper. Now you can buy this crimper. Let's take a look at it.
Can we see the
here.
brand?
This one's called Master Cool AC Manual Hose Crimping Tool, part number 71550. So mastercool.com. I think probably
You can take a screenshot of that if you want that.
Yeah.
Just screenshot the whole label.
Yeah.
Maybe do a Google Lens search of that. But
Might have bought it off of eBay, not really sure. Seems like it was fairly expensive, but not outrageous. Maybe $100, $150.
just like a good price if you're trying to fix your own stuff.
So you take a look inside, and look, it's very nicely built.
Very nice. Looks like a Krang portal from the 1987 Ninja Turtles.
You have the sizes here for the barrier hoses. See, here's a 12, the blue one, and it's marked number 12. And then the one that's in, yellow here, it's a number 10 hose. This is number 8 hose, and then the purple one is probably a 6.
We can take it out and see.
Yeah,
because we don't need it.
Yeah, we are going to take it out because we got to find the one that actually fits.
And this is a number 12 hose, right?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be an 8 or a 10.
I thought you said it was a number 12.
So we're going to take a look at it, and generally, see, it makes a perfect circle.
And these are made of rubber.
Yeah, so
Some people might have been thinking that these are made of plastic. These are actually made of rubber, so they can squeeze down on them.
yeah, it may be that the one that's in here is exactly the right size. They pull out the pin, and there's this piece that just fits in there.
Pretty easy. Kind of like a screwdriver or a ratchet wrench.
Yeah, you squeeze it and you can pull it out. There it
That's
is,
a
number
nine.
6.
6 or 9?
Yeah, 6. That's a 6.
That's a 6.
All right, and that may be the exact one we'll
I think that one's going to be too small, though.
probably.
It looks like a 6 is going to be too small for this hose. Whoa.
So I'm going to try that and just see if that does look like it's the right size. So take this hose here. It's really small, and that is the smallest one. So I would say that's probably it. All right, so you put your pin back.
Let me get around this side so that people can see.
Putting the pin into it.
Does it go on the other side?
It goes either side. Here we go.
It's just sometimes one side works better than the other.
Yeah, they have little indentations that help lock it in place.
I said, do you want me to try it?
I think that's pretty well locked.
I think that's in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We might have to hold it in, but it'll be
Okay,
fine.
so we're ready now to make the crimp. And what we do is you line it up and you just leave a very small piece of it sticking out. The piece that's sticking out about 1/4 inch, and you notice you can look at that.
Well, I should be able to get it.
Yeah. There you go.
Hold on. Let me get it. It's a little blurry. There we go.
All right.
Hopefully you guys can see that pretty good.
So we got just about 1/4 inch sticking out. We've checked our mark, and the mark is exactly lined up with the way we wanted it, and moved a little bit, so I moved it back. Now we're ready for the crimp. Now the crimp is just a matter of taking a tool and tightening it down.
So what tool would you recommend? Like, what do you use?
I use a ratchet wrench, and that's what I'm going to get.
All right, so I'm gonna pause while you get that.
Okay.
All right, you can start explaining.
Okay, so this takes a let's see what size socket, 3/4 inch. Hey, that's great.
Hey, what do you know?
Being that it's 3/4 inch, I can also use this device here, which is really nice, a little battery powered
And
tool.
this specific brand is Ryobi. And what brand would you recommend for your drills and screwdrivers?
Well,
and
this
stuff
is
like
the
that?
least expensive, good quality driver.
I think you can pick these up at what? Is it Lowe's or Home Depot?
It's Home Depot,
Home Depot, you can get these at, guys.
and they work real well. But I'm going to start it off by hand
Just so that we're not making too much noise.
and see how this sounds like that. Now, this
So I'm
is
gonna look in here so that the people can see as you're doing that.
yeah. You notice there's 4 bolt holes here where you can mount this permanently on a bench or a board or some other way, but I've actually left it loose, and the reason is that sometimes I repair the hoses when they're on the car with only taking off one end of the hose,
And then you put it back on, and then you.
and then you change the end piece, And then, you know, if the hose is still good, everything is good, you don't have to take the whole thing apart. So that's the reason I've left it. So now you just crank it down.
And as you guys can see in there, it's slowly getting tighter in there. And that's pretty cool. So as a device that crimps something, you said this is what, 150 bucks?
Yeah, and it may be, I've had it for some time. I've had it for many years.
Here, you want me to crank on it a little bit?
There we go.
Let me give it a couple cranks. It's worth me giving it a couple cranks, Dad.
Okay, you can crank it down a little more.
Let them see who I am.
Okay,
Yeah, I bet you guys didn't expect me to be here making a car video.
All right, go ahead. Just give it a couple more cranks, and because I've actually had professional hoses blow apart because they don't get the crimps good on the end.
Wow, this thing's tougher than I thought.
Yeah. So why don't we try the
drill?
Yeah, let's try.
Let's show the kind knuckleheads at home. Yeah, I decided on the channel name, Dad. We're gonna call it Knuckleheads Garage. We're not happy till you're not happy.
Look at this,
gentlemen.
Set this up. Noisy. Oh boy, does that crimp it. Ooh, look at it go.
And there's your breakfast.
Okay, so no problem. Uh-oh. It's a tight crimp.
That's a good crimp.
So let's back it off. All right, then you pull the pin.
So to the kind people at home, do you want it to look like that?
A little bit squished on the end. I don't think it hurts it, but let me take a look at it.
Just make sure it, you know, is still living. Still alive, but barely breathing. Here, let me help you.
Wait a minute. There's a little. There we go.
There you go.
Okay, so what you see is very well flattened, crimped. That's not going to come off. That's a little overdone. I wouldn't recommend going quite that far. So
maybe instead of putting it in at 400 degrees, you put it in at 375.
Yeah. So let's try this other one.
So now we got to do the other end. I will speed up this part of the video because you guys have already seen us do it, so you guys know how it's going.
So we put it in the.
You have to pull it apart, right?
Yep. Lift that out of there. Slide the piece in. Okay. This actually goes all the way back. Something pulling it.
I think I know what it is, Dad. I think so. Here, Dad. Try like pushing it like at an angle, and then.
Here we go.
What the hell was that?
I think it just kind of locks on itself. Okay, so you get this in there.
Now, Dad, what would happen if you stuck your finger in there?
You can crimp it too.
Crimp it to infinity and beyond?
Yeah. All right, the marks line up. That looks good.
Are you sure this is the right size? Because...
Yep. I'm pretty sure it is. You mean because it makes it a tight crimp?
Yeah, like I'm thinking maybe it's just a little too big. Like I'm thinking an 8 might be better. Want to try an 8 on the other side? Because we can always size it down.
Let me take a look at it.
Because the 6 just looked that was way too tight. Like it shouldn't have done that.
There's a release on these things. You got to just have, there we go.
Oh, it's that thing.
Have it up in place. Okay, so this is a.
This is a 6.
This is a 6.
We already decided that. Let's try an 8. Just, you know, make the video interesting. Make some drama for the video. Make sure something, you know, blows up or whatever. Can't have a good video without something going wrong. That looks better. Do we have one smaller than 8, like a 7?
Nope. No.
We can try it, and if it doesn't work, we can just go back to 6.
No, that's not going to work. I'm just not going to crank it down so far.
Yeah, so we're just going to be more careful.
I don't normally use this tool on it, the driver tool. So, okay.
So we probably shouldn't.
Let's get this.
So as you guys can see, this is the... Dad, that's the one we already crimped.
Okay. Get this in here.
Alright, so why don't you hit him with what you just said?
Okay, it's just starting to spread a little bit. Not real far, so it's just starting to deform.
So you might want to get like a custom size for this if you're trying to do these.
This is the right size. There we go.
So is that going to come off?
No, it'll never come off.
Oh yeah, that's all good.
Yeah. So there's a lot of extra metal, and that metal has to go somewhere. So you got a crimp there, and you got a little crimp there. Okay, now you got a perfect hose. Match the old one.
And now what do we do with it?
I mount it on a car, and you.
So Dad, after you box it, then what do you do with them?
You ship it. Knucklehead.
Hey, he got it. He actually made up a quote for us. There we go.
All right, so this is ready to go. I'm gonna mount that on the car after breakfast, and this tool we put away again until its next use.
And that'll be part 2 of this video. That'll be part 2, and that'll probably go up to tomorrow. I'll probably go up on Saturday. Thank you guys so much for watching. And you gonna hit him with anything?
No, I think that's convenient. Save yourself a trip to the store. You make your own hoses, you get better at it. I haven't made one in the past 5 or 6 years, but I made
You made one pretty recently,
Oh, I
not
did.
for a car, but
Yeah, actually I did. I made one for the Barracuda.
yeah, you did, yeah.
That one was a professional job. Had it done at a professional shop. And blue.
I will tell you guys, we had to change the seat covers. We were coming home from the Walmart, and there was an accident. We're driving through a neighborhood, like trying to get to our house, because our house is across from the neighborhood, and it just blew up, and I nearly shat myself.
Yeah,
myself.
it really is an explosion because all the freons released at the same time, and that was R12, which is very expensive. It's about $70 a pound, so that was quite a bit of money, $200-300 just thrown away just like that because they didn't crimp these hoses tight enough. And a little deformed, but it is going to stay.
But it's definitely going to stay, and it's not going to leak because of that deformity.
Yeah.
Because the deformity is really, which one's the one that's really deformed? This one's really at the end where it's deformed.
Yeah.
And realistically, the inside part is what you're really worried about, because this is just to hold it on. This isn't going to make it leak at all.
Exactly. And then the reason you give it that 1/4 inch is because you don't want to bend the actual.
Because that could crack and break and do all sorts of nasty stuff
The
that you don't
fitting
want it to do.
itself. This part here is meant to be squeezed, and it is squeezed. So that's
pretty okay.
That'll stay on there for a lifetime till the hoses go bad years from now. But this is a very effective way of getting your air conditioning back online with a minimal amount of cost. Once you got your little crimper, and you can do it on the car, you can bring it to different shops, and that's what you do with friends' hoses. So great experience. Hope you guys, thank you for watching, and hope you can reproduce one for yourself. Have a good